What we're going to talk about now is how to put our bridle on and take it off. That's one of the things that I feel like, just like haltering and saddling our horse, there's a right way and an easy way that works well for both the horse and the human. So when we go to put the bridle on, the first thing we'll do is we'll take our halter off and just buckle it around our horse's neck. Most of these horses are very used to being bridled, and so they're not going to run off on you, but just in case, you now have control of that horse. Then we're going to take our reins, and like I'll take my left rein and lay it over the horse's neck, and I'll take my right rein and I'll lay it over the horse's neck. And just like with the halter and the horse, these horses have been taught when I put my hand up between their ears, they're to lower their head. I would much rather try to put a bridle on down low as I would up high. So I'll have my right hand in between this horse's ears, and I'll use my right thumb to catch up here on the crown piece of that bridle. I'll take my left hand and I'll separate the mouthpiece of the bit from the curb strap. And I'll take my left thumb and just kind of tickle that horse's tongue, and that horse will open that mouth up, and I can slip that bit mouthpiece right in their mouth. Then I'll go up and I'll gently fold that right ear through and gently fold the left ear through. The reason I put the right ear on first is because if this horse were to spook or to pull away from me, they're going to tend to pull away to the right. Now, if I've got that bridle on that right ear, I can kind of, direct them back here towards me. If I have it on that left ear and they go to pull away, it's just going to come right off. And so I always put the right ear through first. You notice that when I put that on, I did it just real gently. I didn't drag over the ear. I didn't wad the ear up, pinch the ear. I've got my brow band adjusted low enough that it slides easily over the horse's ears. If you do this every time and you keep that horse comfortable, the horse will not become hard to bridle. They'll stay easy to bridle. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buckle my throat latch strap. Just like buckling that halter, we're going to completely buckle that strap. This particular horse, I buckled it all the way up to the last hole, and I can still slide my fingers in there, so there's plenty of adjustment. What you wouldn't want to do is have it buckled so tight that you can't slide your fingers in there easily, or have it way loose that you could have your whole arm put through there. That's way too loose. So on each horse, it's going to have to be adjusted properly. Now we can just take our halter off, kind of lay it out of the way, and we have our horse bridle. We're going to make sure that the bridle is adjusted properly in the horse's mouth. We're going to notice there's just a little bit of a roll right there, not really a wrinkle. Here's a wrinkle, a couple of wrinkles. That's a little too tight. Or if it were adjusted way too loose, it would be hanging down in the horse's mouth like that. That's way too loose. So as long as you can see just that little roll there, you know that you've got it adjusted properly. There's just a little roll there on that side, and there's probably one over here on the other side as well. Yeah, just a little roll, not really a wrinkle. And that's going to allow us to, whenever we pick up on the bridle reins, going to allow us to have a little bit of time there for that horse to kind of prepare for that pressure. Rather than, pulling against it, they'll soften up for us. Alright, when we take our bridle off, We're going to go ahead and, just like when we started out, we're going to put our halter back around the horse's neck in case the horse pulls away from us. We have our reins up here. I like to take my right thumb, come up here, and just have my reins in my right hand. I'll undo my throat latch strap and let that fall, and then I'll slide my left ear out, then my right ear out, and then I'll just kind of let that horse drop that bit mouthpiece on her own. This horse is pretty relaxed and standing here. She's got that in her mouth. I might have to slide my thumb in there and just kind of tickle her tongue to get her to open her mouth. And once she opens her mouth up, she drops it right out. And then we can go back and put her halter back on her horse. So now we've got our halter back on our horse. When we go to put our bridle up in the tack room, we're going to take our reins, and you can just kind of drop your reins on the floor. Take your right rein and fold it over so that there's a loop. Just like that. The tail of my right rein will be over here on the right hand side of the bridle. Then we'll take the left rein and do the same thing. We'll loop it over. Now the tail of my left rein is on the left hand side of the bridle. You'll notice that both of my reins, the smooth side or the slick side's up and the flesh side's down. The rough or flesh side's down. That's how you want to hang it up. The reason we do it that way is if we'll hang our bridles up correctly, every time when we get done riding, they'll always have the reins hanging nice and straight when we go to use them the next time. If you hang them up all jumbled up, the reins will have kinks in them when you get ready to use them the next time. So we want to make sure we put those up correctly.